What's up, everybody? All you little leprechauns out there. This is episode 12 of the Digital Demons podcast. Welcome to the show. We are back with Kayla again. She's on the couch, hanging out.
Woo! Hi, guys.
And so we're going to be getting straight into the shit. And boy, do we have some shit for you guys. So, as usual, it's a St. Patrick's Day, like annual tradition, right? Like I woke up this morning. And what was the first thing I did?
You woke up and you went to go and do chores around the house, really. You had to go.
Well, besides that, what was the first thing I did on my phone when I woke up this morning, if you remember?
Oh my gosh, it was the Leprechaun.
Yes.
There was a video.
Yeah. Yes, indeed. It is a traditional every single year. The first thing I do on St. Patrick's Day, I don't get into the green thing just so long as I watch this video on YouTube. It came out in 2006. It was a YouTube video that somebody had released back in the day, but it was a story from 2006 about the Crichton area leprechaun in Mobile, Alabama. And so the residents there were like up in a frenzy, I guess, because they believed that they seen a leprechaun in a tree near their houses, which is hilarious. Because they do all these interviews and they have this amateur sketch that's like fucking just the most basic thing you'd ever see. Like the beginning of somebody learning to draw a face and they put a top hat on it. So that's the funniest part. But the individual interviews are what really, really make the whole thing hilarious. Because there's like the lady that they interview and she's all, must be a crackhead. Got into the wrong stuff.
Literally. She goes, must be a crackhead.
And they're like looking into her car and shit. And then the other guy's like, oh, I have on my my leprechaun suit and it's armor or whatever he says. And he's like, and I also have my leprechaun flute that's been passed down for thousands of generations from my great-great-grandfather. And then they're like interviewing these other guys and the guy's like, who all seen a leprechaun say yeah? And there's like this whole fucking group of people behind him. And then there's another guy. He's like, I'm going to rent a backhoe and I'm going to uproot that tree. I want the gold. Give me the gold. But like this whole fucking thing is just all these people tweaking on the fact that they think there's a leprechaun in their neighborhood. And so somebody took the footage and remixed it into a music video. And that's what I watch every single year on St. Patrick's Day. Like, I don't care about the celebrations or any of that shit. I have to watch that video first thing in the morning, or at least at one point in the day. So that was the first thing I did this morning before I actually got out of bed. As I was like, oh, it's St. Patrick's Day. Rolled over, grabbed my phone, and just watched the video. It's fucking hilarious. And so if you guys haven't seen it yet, just type in Leprechaun Alabama, and it'll pop up. It says the video had 28 million YouTube views as of last year. So that's what I did for St. Patrick's Day. Hopefully nobody's out there drinking and driving and being fucking stupid. Like, I don't really get into the whole let's go drink for St. Patrick's Day. Like, I kind of feel like that was like a thing we did when we were younger. I don't know. Like,
yeah. I don't know. It was like, for me, when I was younger, I used to, like, I never wanted to be home for any reason I could be away from home. I would go for it. So for St. Patrick's Day, yeah, I would be gone. But being older now, I guess, I don't know. I guess, like, nowadays, I'm a homebody. And ever since, like, COVID happened, it made me realize that I like being home. I like being, like, my surrounding
is... Well, for one, I just want to say, fucking fuck COVID, dude.
Yeah.
COVID was the worst thing to fucking ever happen in humanity.
Yeah.
And it's the biggest fucking sham in the whole world. But anyways, yeah, it turned in a lot of people into homebodies, like you were saying, but for all the fucking wrong reasons, because there's literally people here in 2024 that still go out with fucking masks on. I saw some dickhead the other day walking across the parking lot at Vaughn's, and he had his fucking mask on, and I just was sitting there just glaring at him like, are you for fucking real? And it's one of those medical masks And it's just
No.
like, come on, man. Like, get the fuck out of here. But, yeah.
Yeah, there's no, like, we see people nowadays that are driving with
Yeah,
a mask
still.
on. They're by themselves and they have a mask on. And again, like we don't know what the reason for it is, but I I judge people. I'm not like I'm
You're a
not
piece of shit,
I
and you're
don't
a piece of shit.
yes. I'm not going to hide it. Why are you driving with a mask on?
Because
Why are
if something
you
gets into their fucking cabin air filter in their car and they get COVID from driving behind a fucking diesel truck that spews out fucking
Yeah, right?
rolling coal every fucking where they go, and they inhale it and there's a drop of COVID in there, they could die. I don't know what the whole theory behind that is, but those people, I like to say, are mental still.
Yeah.
So, but it
Yep.
is what it is. They wear their masks and they try to talk to you, and I just ignore people that talk to me with masks on. I just completely ignore them and just act like they don't have a mouth. Mm-hmm. But yeah, besides all that shit, daylight savings time happened this week. For those of you that aren't in the know and just think that we're operating on a different schedule now for no reason, and it fucking sucks. So even though it's shitty, like, I still feel like people that use it as an excuse for being late to places, like, oh shit, dude, my bad, it's, daylight savings time. Like, fuck off.
No. There's
Yeah.
no way.
Yeah, there's no way that you should still be using, oh, it's daylight savings, my bad, I forgot. Your phone does everything for you.
I was going to say, like, yeah, everyone has an iPhone. Everyone has technology nowadays. Like,
Yeah, so
there's no way that
like,
you don't
the
know.
excuse for being late is no longer there, unless you're like fucking 80 years old and you still have a job, which is tight, but you probably don't have a cell phone and you rely on like a fucking legit like alarm clock setup. So that's the only pass that I give people. But other than that, yeah, man, like, if you're being like, oh, my bad, dude, I forgot it's daylight savings time, you're an asshole. And that's pretty much it. Yeah, daylight saving time sucks, and they were supposed to vote it away. I mean, I don't mind it because I don't have a problem with it. Like, I get into it pretty easy, and I don't know. It takes a second to just get adjusted to the time, like, during the day. But you do have more time at night, which is kind of cool. Like, the sun doesn't go down at fucking 2:30 in the afternoon. So that's kind of a plus. It gives you a little extra daylight to be out and about if you need to be. So it's kind of cool, I guess, in that aspect.
Here's the thing, though. Do you feel like you, like, do better with the daylight savings or without it? So think of it as when you wake up in the morning, because you wake up early, do you feel better with daylight savings or without it?
I just like it because I have
In a
actual
shower.
time, like, after I get off of work, the sun isn't immediately setting. So that's kind of nice. I don't care about getting up and it still being dark. Like, that is what it is. I just need to make it to work on time, and that's all I really give a shit about. So, I mean, it's cool because on weekends, if I'm doing stuff outside or whatever, or messing with the cars or whatever, I have that extra time before the sun goes down to get my shit done. So that's why I like it. But I don't know. It is what it is.
Yeah.
But yeah. Let's see, what do we got this week? Okay. I feel like sometimes I'm the only one that immediately stresses out, has a heart attack when something either breaks or isn't operating right, either in the house or wherever, cars, bikes, whatever. Like, I immediately am just like, fuck, this broke, or I don't have it, I need to spend money on this. And all I see is just, besides red and my blood boiling, I just see like dollar signs, like, on the object that's fucked up, like, of whatever type of object it may be. I think I'm the only one that does that.
I mean, yes, you do. And it's not that I don't see the same thing, but I feel like, how do I put it? I guess from my perspective, I automatically assume that, hey, you know, I don't know, we'll say, for example, um, the drain isn't draining. So I automatically think that, oh, you know what? This isn't working. It's not draining. Ryan's going to fix it.
And then it comes to me, and I'm just like, well, shit, if I don't use the product and try to get it out unclogged, this is going to be a major fucking meltdown, and I'm going to have to call a plumber, and the plumber's going to charge me a bunch of fucking money to get this shit fixed, and then I'm going to be pissed. So I automatically ball all that information up, and I store it up in here, and if it doesn't get fixed, I'm all over the place, pissed the fuck off, and immediately in damage control mode, like, how do I get this shit fixed without it killing my wallet?
Exactly. And I feel like that's one of the things that a lot of, a lot of women, or, just a lot of women go through as a homemaker. Things go wrong in the household, and as a homemaker, I'm not necessarily a homemaker. I work and I try to do what I can at home, but there's a lot of things that I try to take care of at home that I can't. So, for example, I have a drain that's clogged in my shower because I have a lot of hair, in my hair, you know, comes out and it gets clogged. But I don't know what to do. But Ryan always knows how to fix things. But
I'm not exactly Tim Allen. Like, I'm not Tim the
yes,
Toolman
he is.
Taylor.
Yes, he is.
I can manage certain things, but stuff that I don't know anything about, like general purpose kind of info on, I don't fuck with. I'd rather hire somebody to do that shit.
But the thing is, I assume that he knows how to take care of these things. Because he always takes care of, things that go wrong in the house. So, I'm always like, okay, this is going wrong. Ryan will fix it.
Yeah, and then you have things like, in my case, like the wheels for the bug.
Oh,
I was like, oh, dude, yeah, we'll just air them up and we'll be done with it. It'll be fine. They kept getting flat and flat and flat and flat and just losing air everywhere. So finally this week, I was like, all right, fuck it. I'll take them off, take them to the tire shop, see if they can just remount the wheel or whatever, or the tire. And yeah, sure enough, there's bead leaks, and the shop didn't want to spray like that gray primer stuff on them because they're really expensive and like pretty rare. So
a lot of people don't know what that means.
well, it's just to stop it from leaking air, basically. But since those wheels are like show wheels,
yeah,
the guy elected to not do it. And so now what I'm saying, like with seeing the dollar signs, is now I'm going to have to take them to get fixed. I got to go to a powder coater. They're hopefully going to be able to strip the wheels down enough, put some kind of sealant or rework the wheel, and then I'm going to have them sandblasted and powder coated. And sandblasting and powder coating is fucking expensive. It's worth it because it's better than paint, but at the same time, what I thought was going to be an easy fix is now going to be me having to remove four sets of tires. Just one set of tire, but four tires. I'm going to have to take all the wheels off, go take them to a powder coat shop. They're probably going to charge me an arm and a leg to get it done, and that's going to suck because it's going to be pretty costly. And just hope that the shop, wherever I take it to, I'll probably take it to Pacific Coast, but hopefully they don't load it up with like a ton of powder and fuck them up. I don't know. I've had stuff done by them a long time ago, and they've gotten a lot more famous than they were when I went and got my pan done by those guys like 10, 12 years ago or whatever it was. So hopefully I'm not paying out the ass for it, but I mean, they're nice wheels, so I guess it'll be worth it. But still, that's one of those things like I immediately just saw like fuck dollars. Like now I'm stressed on that, but whatever, dude. It is what it is.
So for those of you that don't know, Ryan has a 1966 Bug that he has built up from the ground up, like very like from the pan up, if I'm saying that right.
Mm-hmm.
So the bug is his life. And I will say this thing is beautiful. And I'm not just saying that because, I am who I am, but this bug is beautiful. So everything that he has done for this bug it's remarkable. So for this to happen now right before he's got to do what he has to do, it sucks. But, it's great that he wants to, make sure that his bug is taken care of before he leaves. And, yeah, but
Thank God I spent a lot of money and bought another set of wheels and tires beforehand, right?
Yes.
Because I'm compulsive like that. So, I mean...
Where did they come from?
The ones that are on the car right now?
Yeah.
They're South African Sprint Stars.
Oh.
And they're OG.
That's right.
They're OG Sprint Stars. They're not repops. So I paid a lot for them. And they look badass on the car, but kind of disappointed right now because I have to get them fixed. And it really wasn't something I was expecting to do, seeing as I've had them on the car for almost 2 years, probably 2 years now.
Yeah, 2
and they've
years.
never had a problem. They've just been rolling straight. But I mean, they are fucking 60 years old. I don't know, 50, 60 maybe years old. I don't know. But either way, it's still going to cost a bunch to get them redone. But you just can't order them online. You can't get them at a shop. That's one of those things you kind of got to have a plug for. So that's how I got these wheels. And I don't know. We'll get them taken care of. Get them squared away and be rolling soon at a car show near you, I guess, after I get back. So, yeah, next up is Ryan was correct again. For those of you that don't know, I discussed it not last podcast. Was it the last podcast? Not the last one. The one before that, I think 10, something like that. The next Benedict school brawl and all that stuff. Yeah, that really took a turn left because they were all up in arms saying that she was beaten to death and this and that. And your boy came out and was just like, yeah, she killed herself. That's what it's going to be. And cha-ching, sound the alarm. I'm right again. Not saying that it's great that it happened or anything, but hey, it's only obvious when you have somebody that has that kind of ordeal happen. Nothing happens to them immediately after the fight. They don't show any signs of real wear and tear. You know what I'm saying? As if somebody really beat them unconscious, and et cetera, et cetera. I went into it, like I said, a couple episodes ago, whatever it was, and I was right. Sorry, I was right. Called it. Everybody's like, oh, she had a brain hemorrhage and that's how she died in her sleep. Now, homegirl took a fistful of pills and killed herself. I mean, it's kind of the thing, that you have a mental illness, just calling a spade here. And those people, they get frustrated. Not like anybody else doesn't get frustrated, but, that's what happens. They go to these extremes to get more notoriety, I guess, and this is the end result. Girl, took a handful of pills and went forever asleep. And, it's crazy that it has to come down to that, but look at how the media portrayed it. It was just, it's a hate crime and this and that, and this would have never happened if she wouldn't have been bullied, and, it really honestly would have never happened if she didn't take a water bottle and pour water over people and just kind of ignored what they were saying. It was an instigated fight on her own term. Like, she didn't have to do that and probably wouldn't have gotten a fight. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, that's just kind of where people don't have any accountability for one's actions, and they don't take any of that shit into account when they're trying to make these crazy, grandiose stories up of people attacking her because it's her lifestyle she lives as a non-binary and this and that, and that's why she was beaten up and was murdered in the bathroom and all that, and it just got like way out of hand. Then you had like her whole memorial getting taken over by the LGBTQ plus IA whatever community, and they just like hijacked the shit and were just going fucking crazy at her memorial, which is rather unnecessary because in the end, that's not what killed her. She didn't get in a fight and get killed because of the fight. She killed herself. So, you know, that's kind of a moral thing that you have to tussle with there. But yeah, I don't know. That is what it is, but gotta say I was right again. I called it. So
Yep. Exactly.
You know, it is what it is, dude.
I feel like nowadays, and, you know, I might get a lot of hate for this, but, you know, when I was in high school, I used to get bullied a lot. I wasn't the, quote, popular kid in school, but I was friends with a lot of people, you know, in school. And it's one of those things where if you start something, you're going to get something back. And I'm not saying that what, you know, this person went through, what she deserved, but I'm not going to also sit here and say that he or she, whatever they identified as, whatever, it was a female. You know what? Biologically, it was a female. So what she went through, you know what? She started it. That's, you know, that's what happened. She's gonna get what she started. And
yeah,
I know,
but they see it as like, oh, it was just a random thing that these girls beat her up in the bathroom, but a lot of that shit was left out that she was the instigator. So that's how the whole media storm happened, was just she was attacked, and these attacks are, you know,
but that's crazy because everything that I've read is she started it. She's the one that poured the water on someone, and she
poured
back.
it across 3 girls, and the 3 girls were like, the fuck? Like, as anybody, I guess, would. I mean, I've never had that kind of shit happen to me. I had one kid in elementary school pick me up, like, off the ground, because I was a small person, obviously, and in elementary school I was a lot smaller than the other kids. And the one dude picked me up just like as a joke and put me on the wall. And ever since then, I was just like, I fucking hate this guy. Like, I just couldn't fucking stand. But I wouldn't go to lengths to go and fuck with him. Like, oh, you know, like, you're bullying me and all this bullshit. Like, I was cool with his sisters. So, I mean, that was one thing. He was just doing it humorously to kind of make fun of me or whatever it was. But it's like, okay, I can put that aside even as a kid and just be like, this fucker ain't worth it. You know what I mean? I'm not going to be, oh, man, he picked me up off a fucking ground at school today, and, you know, jump off a fucking bridge or something like that. Like, you know, fucking, yeah. You live another day. It's just something that happened that one day. But you have these kids that are being coddled these days into thinking that they're something special when it's just, you know, it's something deeper than that. And people refuse to acknowledge it. And I mean, even the president, he put a release out saying that, you know, these attacks are unwarranted and blah, 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 blah. And it's just like, fucking A, dude. Okay, whatever. We can get past this kind of thing. Just, how about you make a fucking anti-bullying PSA for everybody? And that just lumps everybody in the whole country together. And there's no divisive context within that statement. But that's just how they roll. They you know how they do. You know how they do.
Yeah. But then again, our president is also, you know, has the mentality of a 12-year-old.
This guy right here, dude. Speaking of the mentality of a 12-year-old, I don't even think 12, maybe, I don't know. Who knows?
That's me giving him the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah, this guy, what's his name? Steven Masalta or how, whatever. 32-year-old guy in Colorado. Worked at a Safeway grocery store and was arrested after jerking off all over the grocery store products over a 3-month span. Yeah. That's this guy, they say, was charged with 14 counts of indecent exposure, 2 counts of attempted indecent exposure, 4 counts of attempted unlawful sexual contact, and 16 counts of attempted sexual assault on a child.
What? How?
It says, according to investigators, they initially began investigating Masalta back in July of 2023 after reports of a man who was exposing himself outside a coffee shop. In one incident, Masalta exposed himself to a minor. So there's at least one the charges for sure.
Yeah.
It says following a search warrant executed last month, police recovered video evidence of Masalta ejaculating on food products at the Safeway grocery store he worked at. Masalta, who worked at the grocery store for 3 months, would record himself ejaculating on products and then put them back out for sale. While police have not disclosed what the products were, they said the items were, quote, unsealed. And then the chief added that the investigators have many more photos to go through and videos, but believe there are multiple victims. Well, no shit, dude. You know, you're sitting there just fucking going off on a fucking jack-off rampage around the grocery store. And people
crazy.
are picking up items and buying them, not knowing that there's fucking dried up fucking goo on them. You know?
Have to say,
Yeah.
nastiness. You know, the one thing I will say, the one positive, and you know what, I might be a villain for that, but the one thing about TikTok, again, I'm not, a positive person on TikTok, but the thing on TikTok is when you post a video saying, hey, we need to find this person, they did this wrong, they will find you. So if you've done something wrong, they will find you. So that's something that we need to post out there and say, hey,
the dude's already been caught. I mean, it's not like he's on the run.
He needs to be known out there so that the next time that he tries to find a job.
There won't be a next time. There won't be a next time. Everybody knows.
But you know, it's California.
Oh, Steven? Oh, yeah, you're the guy that jacked off all over the Safeway, right? Yeah, get away from me. Good luck in jail, buddy. That's all I got to say. Fucking jerking off on the produce or whatever you're doing. Fucking jacking off on the fucking Nilla wafer boxes, dude. That's fucking...
I'm laughing. That's so wrong. But still, like, you hear of this person's name, that's, you're done.
Like, those people should just be executed because they're less than...
That's disgusting.
They're less than anything in the world.
Yeah.
Like, you have no purpose to be on the earth at all. Nobody's going to want to procreate with you. You're not going to be able to get a job. Like, at that point, they should just fucking put you out to pasture and just fucking let you have it.
Exactly. Did you hear about the bachelor party happening in Nashville?
Mm-mm.
And what happened with that?
No.
Oh man. So, a woman posted a video saying that, hey, if your husband's or your fiance's name or husband, whatever, is named Nico, something happened in Nashville at a bachelor party, and reach out to me so I can let you know what's going on. So fast forward, what happened was a female got something happened to where she was raped, and she basically pressed charges, and it was someone in the party there was a guy named Chris who was a cop. Nico was the bachelor, and there was other people in the party, but basically a woman reached out and said, hey, I live in Nashville, I'm a bartender, this is what's going on. If you are engaged or married to someone with these names, let me know so I can let you know what's going on.
And she did this shit on TikTok?
Yes. So fast forward, the woman that was raped, the women of the men, they all got found out. The men all got found out.
Would they have a rape party? Like all of them got...
All the men were involved.
Were
it was
people?
One woman that got raped. Men...
Oh, they took turns or whatever?
Yeah, apparently.
Oh.
All the men, they got
that's
caught.
Not a bachelor fucking party you want to go to.
Yeah, they got pressed charges, and all the women, like the wives of the men, are sticking by their sides, even with...
Well, I mean, that's not anything new. I mean, look at the fucking bitch that got $93 million or whatever from Trump. She said that she was raped back in the 80s in a clothing store, and he's like, bitch, I'm balling. I don't have time to go to the common fucking stores like that.
I
And
don't
look what
believe
happened.
that, though.
She's $93 million richer now, or whatever it is, and probably has nothing to be believed at. And then you have people in other cases that have been in jail for years and years and years. Like the 16-year-old kid, he got convicted of rape, and then the girl, like 4 or 5 years after he went to jail, was like, yeah, that never happened. I just met him at a party. He didn't rape me. So I don't know. Maybe those girls were out doing their thing, or maybe these guys just totally just started a fucking rape fucking fest. And
it was only one female, and there's now like a whole thing going on. So it sounds like, something's going on.
Yeah, but
and
it's
even
easy,
the
it's
wife
easy to do shit like that on TikTok, though. I don't have TikTok, and I never will, never have. So I'm glad I don't. But that shit's about to get banned anyway, so who gives a fuck?
Very true.
TikTok sucks. It's
Oh, but we have to save TikTok because it's going to cost a lot of creator money.
well, yeah, they need to get a regular fucking job anyways, dude. Like, that's just how it fucking goes. You have a job doing what? Making a fucking video of you running across the fucking grocery store or whatever it is. Like, what the hell is going on? Doesn't make any sense. The guy from TikTok is making these "Please come and save us" videos now, and he's basically begging people to get this bill from being passed, eliminating TikTok from the United States, basically. And he's saying, "Oh, we're going to be costing 100,000 jobs, and the creators won't have any ability to make money anymore," and this and that. And it's just fucking crazy to me to think that this is what people now rely their whole livelihoods on, is a fucking phone app. Like, we all go to work every day. The common person goes to work every day. The regular person goes to work every day and busts our fucking ass at whatever job we do. We have to sacrifice this and that. And then the majority of them are younger people. They're kids now that are just, I'm gonna review a chocolate candy bar and get 15 million views, and then I'm gonna get sponsored by the candy bar, and we're just gonna get all kinds of money and this and that. And it's fucking absurd how these people get deals and promo and fucking all kinds of endorsements and shit like that, and they don't do a fucking thing, but they sit on their ass all day long playing influencer. And it's stupid. So now this guy comes out and he's begging people to not help pass this bill because he wants to keep TikTok alive. Well, fucking wake up call, if I've ever heard of anything. These motherfuckers are going to have to go get regular jobs, dude, because TikTok was found to be fucked up in the first place. And now it's on the verge of being eliminated altogether. So we'll see what happens with that. Are you going to be sad if TikTok goes away?
No. No, I don't go on social media that often.
Other than Instagram. Everybody uses fucking Instagram anyways.
Yeah, I go on Instagram and Facebook, but just to watch videos, I guess. So I'm not gonna be upset if TikTok goes away.
But then all the creators will have to get regular jobs, and they won't be able to, have their deals anymore and just fucking go dancing through the fucking,
I will say this, though.
And do product reviews to get sponsorships from companies anymore. Boo-hoo.
I will say this, though. If I was someone that, if I had the energy to make videos every day and make fucking, pardon my French, $10,000, $20,000, $30,000 a day, just posting a video like, hey, I'm trying this makeup today. Let's see before and after. I'm not hating on that. That's fucking awesome. But there are people out there that actually have real jobs that, they don't have to sit behind a camera. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't want to I don't care for any of that shit. It's the dumbest thing that people get paid to be online.
Exactly.
Unless it's something very important, and doing a fucking makeup tutorial when you're the 1,000th person to fucking learn how to use makeup. It's like, congratulations.
Exactly.
So we'll see. We'll see how that all how that ends up.
Yeah, but I don't know. I'm I guess I'm a hater. Like, I think that, I work 5 days a week, 6 days a week, 8 to 9 hours a day, and I work hard. And then I have to come home and still do my day-to-day stuff, dishes, laundry, and it sucks. Working 40 hours a week plus doing, stuff at home, it's rough. It's rough, but, you have these people that are doing, TikTok videos and stuff like that, which, you know what? Get your money. If that's your, your money, your
Source of income.
There you go. Yeah, like, if that's how you're making money, good for you. But I'm going to be a hater because I
But
have
in the
a day
eyes of
job.
the regular public, that's some bullshit anyways. So
Yeah.
TikTok's whack. Probably going to get taken away. And
Well, it is going to, not probably, it is going to get taken away.
well, we'll see. We'll see.
But it'll be a eye-opening for people that will have to actually get a real job.
Yeah, all those product reviews, you make a hell of a salesperson. Go get the fucking Foot Locker and sell these shoes that you were talking about on the internets 2 weeks ago after your platform got shut down. You're the sneaker expert. Go ahead. Go there and sell me some shoes or something, dude. Yep. I don't know. We'll see. But let's see what else. Texas and Pornhub, dude.
No, shoot.
Pornhub has left Texas after the state's newest bill went into law. They request age verification on their site, and people in Texas think that's horrible. And so the Canadian site Pornhub has left Texas. And I mean, I get it. Texas is just trying to protect the youth. They don't want them going on to explicit sites and stuff like that. But the people in Texas are like so spazzing out, like, oh my God, what's going to happen when we don't have our Pornhubs? It's like, dude, there's 50 other million fucking websites that you can go to if you really are going to watch porn. Yeah. Like, why does everybody like refer to Pornhub as like, oh, that's the porno site? Like, Pornhub.
Yeah. I mean, that's because when you like, that's one of the most popular, nudie sites that you can look up, Pornhub, But I understand trying to, quote, like, protect the youth, but that's happening everywhere. Like, there's not, there's so many other sites that, the youth can go to. Pornhub, RedTube, there's all these other sites.
Damn, I thought you were about to go on a fucking just a listing frenzy right there.
I was going to, but,
damn, spit it, I guess. Holy shit.
But still, I feel like if we're going into that topic, parents need to have the birds and the bees.
Well, not only that, how about put some fucking password protection on your computer if you're really that worried about it, or get them fucking their own little tablet and put, website blockers or whatever it is on there.
Man,
it's not like they're going to fucking get old enough anyways and go see that shit at a friend's house. You know what I'm saying? Let's be real. I mean, it's good they're putting the feelers out to do all they can to help the youth, because Lord even fucking knows what's on that website now. It's not just the whole fucking, regular old porno that we've all seen before. And don't act like you're not fucking guilty of watching porn. Not you, but our listeners out there. You motherfuckers aren't angels. I know all of you guys, majority of you guys.
Dirty bastards.
yeah. You filthy jack-offers. No, but yeah, I mean, it's a good idea for them to put something out there like that, but it's not really going to last very long. These kids are going to see what they're going to see, and they're going to hear what they're going to hear. I mean, it's Texas, so I mean, they do have strict laws. I could see if they tried to pull some shit like that in California. I mean, they just go to the library and read a book on how to, fist somebody in the ass or whatever, because California has like radical laws, and they have wild ass books for these kids to read in schools. So I don't know. We'll
So,
just have to
Tell me
wait and
this.
see.
When you have a child and they get to, teenage level, what's your conversation going to be with them on the birds and the bees?
It'll be simple, just like everybody else told me. Just be careful. If you're gonna do it, you better fucking realize what happens when you fuck up. Not if you're intentionally trying to do that as an adult, then okay, that's one thing. But if you're young and just being dumb, then know the fucking consequences. That's plain and simple. That's how we were told. Wrap it up, dude. Wrap it up. Use your contraceptives or whatever, and just be safe. Don't get AIDS and die. That was it. Watch this video right here on how a baby gets born, and they sit you down in high school and press play. But now I don't know what I would be scared shitless to walk into an elementary school or a middle school for that sake. These days, there's probably fucking wild ass porno videos on the overhead projector, and it's not just like, oh, the penis goes in the vagina and there's an ejaculation, the sperm, goes to the egg, and then 9 months later there's a baby. It's probably like, fucking these two dudes start sucking each other off, and then, then
God.
John fucking fists Timothy in his butthole, and then their friend Francine comes in and they both have sex with her, and there's a three-way. And it's like shit like that is definitely in schools now, and it's for sure in literature. There's like fucking like those passion books that you see at like fucking Stater Brothers. Yes. It's like fucking Stallion's Princess, and it's like some fucking half naked dude or whatever on the fucking cover, and it's like all that horny literature that fucking people would read, and it's just like, oh my god, we're in chapter 17. They're taking each other's clothes off and they're just reading it. Like that shit, like that is more extreme in the schools nowadays than it never was in fucking schools. Basically, until we got into high school, we read like a chapter of like sexual science or whatever you want to call it, and then it was done. And then we were just on our own, like, well, fuck, man, we saw that video. It was what was that shit called? I know you guys out there know what the fuck this shit is called. It's the famous video we all watched in high school, and we were just like, there we go, okay. That's a baby coming out of a vagina. That's crazy. But now they're just like, hey, well, not only can that baby come out of that woman's vagina, it can also come out of fucking Terrence's butthole or whatever it is, and he can have a baby now too. And it's just so conflicted, dude. Like, this shit is just fucking wild. I'm not gonna go any further into that, but Pornhub, fucking see you later. You guys in Texas gotta figure it the fuck out, man. If you guys are really down to jack off or do whatever you guys are doing, DJing, there's plenty of other sites out there. It's not the end of the world. It's just very, very odd that they would have such a stir up of Pornhub being taken out of Texas.
Yeah, that's wild. I think that, it's, porn is a thing, it's however you see it per your relationship. I'm not like, I don't care in our relationship, I guess. Like, it's there, but I feel confident enough in our relationship that if Ryan does watch it, okay, it is what it is. But,
I'm gonna get so much fucking hate for that, dude. There's gonna be some fucking haters out there, dude, but whatever.
But,
Yeah, same. Like, I don't, if you watch it, you watch it. What am I gonna do about it? I'm gonna fucking shame you and just, oh, look at you watch porno. Big fucking deal, dude. People need to do what they need to do, and it is what it is.
But I will say,
shrug your shoulders.
He has enough at home. But
Jeez Louise.
But I feel like I will say this stuff shouldn't be taught in schools. It should be talked about with their parents. I would be very upset if, teachers were talking.
Give them the regular speech like we all had. We all had to go through sex ed, not even as an entire like course in school, but a portion of like our, what do you call that, class that we did was I don't fucking remember, dude. It was a long time
Ed?
ago. No, it wasn't a sex ed class. It was part of another class we were in, and that was just a portion, like a chapter or 2 or 3 or whatever it was.
Oh, we had
And
in my school, we had an actual sex ed class.
no, dude, not us. They were just kind of like, check this out, and then we're gonna talk about fucking igneous rocks and fucking shit like that.
The
But
thing is, though, like in my school, like our class, sex ed, like I remember, I'll say this, one of the things that was mentioned in a video was, it's gonna be weird, but I remember this exactly, the drips, and I didn't know what that meant.
you're like, what is the fucking faucet leaking? Or
Yeah, I didn't know what it meant. And so I remember, and the teacher that held this class was, she was a biology teacher. And so she said, hey, we're going to talk about this stuff. So if you have any questions, so that you don't feel like pointed out or left out, whatever it is, write your questions down on your sheet. So I remember hearing something talking about drips, about a male having drips. And I said, what does drips mean?
she's like, this fool's fashion sense is off the hook. He's dripping.
I wish. No, she said question. She put a question mark on my sheet. Didn't ask me what it meant. She put question mark. That's it.
Then that's what leads people to go to the internet, and the internet has everything. So you probably found out what it was, right?
She could have came up to me and asked me, what do you mean by drips? No, she just put a question mark.
She just sends you to the principal's office. She's like, get the fuck out of here, you pervert.
Right?
If it's not in chapter 3, I don't know.
I'm about to be 30, and I still don't know what that means. Which I'm sure that's a good thing, but
It's probably chlamydia or some shit like that. Something fucked up.
like the drips, like that's, I don't know.
I
I
don't
could have
know.
taken my time to, look what it meant, but she put a question mark. Like, you're supposed to be a teacher.
I mean, the teachers now don't fucking know. They just tell them what sex fucking diseases they have currently, and if it's not on the list, then they don't talk about it, I guess. I don't know. I don't know.
But I don't want teachers teaching my kid, the birds and the bees.
Well, you better
This
have
is
that
me, though.
conversation before the teachers do.
Yeah.
Because the teachers will teach them how to use dildos and strap-ons and sex swings and all kinds of shit. And then you'd be like, well, we were just watching fucking Bob the Builder last week, and all of a sudden this kid wants to play with dildos now. So, I don't know. Took away Power Rangers and fucking got a goddamn vibrator in his room now. What a freak. But yeah, that's some weird shit. Let's see what's next up on the list here. Oh yeah, right again here. One more time. I've been saying it, like I said, I've been saying it for years, and I know a lot of my friends, especially the ones at work, I've been talking about the last ditch effort. As far as the Dems will go, the Democratic Party will go to win this election. And I can ask you guys right now, and I bet you some of you guys will know exactly what I'm talking about. And a lot of people are like, nah, that's crazy. They're not going to do that. They're not going to do that. Bullshit, they're not. I've been saying for years now that the last-ditch effort for them to win, if they were down in any kind of polls, was to try to push the legalization of marijuana on a federal level, which is crazy to some. But, hey, it's what gets a lot of people in trouble, and it's, in my view, not really something that they should be in a lot of trouble for unless they're like hardcore trafficking or, some shit like that. But oddly enough, it was Kamala Harris that was at a fundraiser, I believe, and she was accompanied by the artist Fat Joe, if you guys remember him from any type of 2000s songs or anything like that. You know who he is for the older crowd out there. and they're pushing to legalize weed on a federal level, because they want to reclassify it, which it should be reclassified because it's seen as being as dangerous as heroin, but even crazier, it's being seen as more dangerous than fentanyl, which is fucking absolutely absurd, dude, when you think about it. Like, how many people has fentanyl killed? Let's see. 112,000 at least in 2023. Weed
Holy
still
cow.
is fucking squeaky clean with a 0 count. Nobody's been killed by smoking weed or ingesting weed. They might think they're dying, like Cat Williams said.
Yeah.
You ain't dead. Yeah. So, I mean, you can do the math on that. But what I think is the most interesting part is that Kamala Harris is pushing this whole thing, and she's saying, oh, they need to do it, expeditiously. They're going to figure out what to do to legalize this and, overturn convictions. Well, as Frisco's district attorney, she personally oversaw 1,900 marijuana convictions in her time as the Frisco DA. So why is she all of a sudden changing her tune on that? She's changing her stance on, oh, let's get these people, freed up and, no more charges, which I'm cool with. That's cool. But why are you so hard-nosed as the Frisco DA, and now your fucking head is sinking underwater? Nobody likes her as a VP.
Because she's getting paid.
And now she wants to, happy, joy, let's federally legalize weed, which is kind of crazy. In my opinion, just because of how staunch she was on the convictions in Frisco, at least, and now she's on a warpath to legalize weed on a federal level, which is cool. I mean, I'm all for it, but yeah, it's just kind of funny to me to think that she's doing that shit now. But
Yeah.
that was a quick little tidbit, I guess. A little bit of news. I mean, you can't ask Biden what his take on it is. He's probably thinks we're in a fucking alcohol prohibition still or some shit like
I don't even
that.
know what day it is.
Yeah.
I have to say this. I was talking about this earlier, but there was someone that I followed for a while who brought to light things that should be on the news that haven't been brought to the news. So it could be someone that was kidnapped, someone that was, taken advantage of, if you know what I mean. A lot of different things. But there was one day that this person had posted a video about, Donald Trump, about this whole thing, how don't talk about this person. And he would talk about this person, but not naming this person. And this person said, is this someone that you want to be your president? Well, in my head, I'm like, I would rather have someone that's of sane mind, that even if they're not supposed to be talking about someone, I would rather have him as a president who is of sane mind, that knows what's best for our country, than someone who has dementia. And no offense, I mean, if he has a mental disorder.
But they don't want to tell everybody that because it's election year and he's the greatest thing ever.
Yeah, right? Like, that just... And I've been following this person for the longest time, but when they posted this, and I saw all the comments saying, and you know what, you believe what you believe in, but I can't believe anyone that tells me that who our president is now, if he's not sane. There's no way you can tell me he's sane. He might be a great person, as an individual, but he's not
Get
fit.
off the couch. I'm just kidding.
Yeah. No, I mean,
Leave the
exactly.
fucking room right now.
Like, go away. There's no way. that he is fit to be president.
Well, he got his ass saved by her. So, you know, he's just an old man that doesn't have good memory. So they're not going to bring any charges on him or anything like that for classified material handling. But that's neither here nor there.
You're being nicer than I am.
Well, I've already discussed that, but, you know, because like everybody knows, I get the fucking hot topics of the week, and we go head up during the weekend. So that way you don't have to listen to the podcast on like Wednesday or Thursday after you've already heard it from 15 other people.
Okay.
And, you know, I do these on the weekend, like I always say. So that way the info's fresh, it's new, and people are right into it. So that way when they see these stories during the week, they're like, oh, yeah, I already heard about that. And they're in the know, just automatically in the know. With the other topic we were going to discuss was the Jake Paul fight versus Mike Tyson. Like I discussed, what was it, last week? I don't even know. Found out that it's going to be an exhibition fight. And like I was saying, there's got to be some kind of stupid rules or something like that that's going to happen with the two. And sure enough, there was a story that came out, not really a story, a thread, whatever you want to call it, that basically outlines the new set of rules for this fight. It says that Jake Paul, for one, will be the only one to wear headgear or any kind of like protective equipment during the fight. And I guess I read somewhere too that they're going to be using 18-ounce gloves as well, so that's kind of stupid. Yeah. And there also won't be any weight limitations for him. Tyson will have to come in at least 165. I don't think that's going to be an issue, and the dude can probably just bulk up overnight and do what he's got to do. And there's also not going to be any type of drug testing for Jake Paul. So that means he can use whatever performance-enhancing drugs he wants. He can put, you know, whatever into his body, but they're going to be drug testing Mike Tyson for some weird reason or whatever. He's subject to drug testing. And also, the weirdest and most bitch-ass piece of this whole rule stipulation, or whatever you want to call it, is that Jake Paul is allowed to tag his brother Logan Paul in at any point during the fight.
Oh, my goodness.
So that'll basically make it a 2-on-1. So the Logan and Jake Paul brothers will be able to double team Mike Tyson in the ring, which is seriously a pussy move because this dude knows the power of Mike Tyson. I mean, look at his training videos. It's crazy. The dude's 57, still fucking shit up. His training videos are off the wall. He's like peak performance at his age, even though he's pushing 60. So, I mean, you know, the dude's just an animal. And I think Jake Paul's going to need a fucking juggernaut suit to fully save himself. And Logan, because Logan's probably going to get punched for real, unlike that WWE bullshit that he's on. And he's probably going to go flying out of the fucking ring, most likely. But, yeah, it's just super, super bitch that they're gonna try to knock Mike Tyson out, and I can guarantee that it's gonna be a check for Mike Tyson if they knock him out, and it's gonna be a jaw dropper if he just fucking beats the ever loving shit out of both of these brothers and wins the fight. Like I said, Tyson can go off the wall and just say fuck the money and just completely annihilate these two, which I think he should do, and just, you know, show the world like, hey, look, you motherfuckers thought I was just into growing weed these days and getting sponsorship videos, but it's not really what it is. I could still fuck people up, like, just like that. So, yeah, he's the Paul brothers are in for some serious shit if they think they're gonna be, you know, making Mike Tyson easy prey, especially doing that 2-on-1 bullshit. You know, motherfuckers are gonna get dealt with at the hands of Iron Mike Tyson. So, yeah. It's going to be May 20th on Netflix. They're going to be fighting in Texas at the AT&T Stadium. So anybody that has Netflix, definitely check that shit out because I'm going to be on that. And I'm looking forward to a Mike Tyson just fucking evisceration of the Paul brothers. at whatever it costs. I mean, that shit's going to be off the hook anyways. And we can just hope that those two just get fucking super beat up by Mike Tyson. And I hope that Mike Tyson just doesn't take an easy shot in the chin and fucking lay down like all the other paid fighters do. Because I think that would take away all credibility for his entire career, even though it's an exhibition fight and it's not going to count, which is why Jake Paul set it up this way, because it's not going to be damaging to his professional record. He's just got to kind of deal with it, and he's going to be like, oh, I got to fight Mike Tyson, and, you know, I'm a big man and all this stuff. But like I said, again, Mike Tyson's 57. He's not an active pro fighter. He's still the man in the pro boxing world. But once again, Paul just doing some bitch ass shit, like I said. And definitely these rules aren't helping him prove his worth at all, I don't think. So, yeah, we'll just have to wait and see. It's a couple months out now, so fucking hopefully Mike Tyson just beats the shit out of these two. That's what I hope.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think that Tyson, there's no way that he's going to forfeit his everything that he's done for some TikTok, starting off TikTok, you know, guys. So
yeah, one of them is a fucking wrestler in the WWE, and the other one gets fucking chumps to fight all the time and has a perfect professional record.
They started off as TikTok people.
Actually, Jake Paul got knocked out once, but yeah, they're both TikTok assholes. And like we said before, TikTok's on its way out. So, I mean, at least he has a new career. Both of them have careers now. So,
even if, you know, TikTok is on its way out, you know, Mike Tyson, again, like I said before, he's the most
feared.
Straightforward. Well, meeting him in person, he's the most straightforward. He's a gentle giant, but he's very to his word. So, like, knowing him as a person, he's to his word. He means what he means, and I think hopefully, he's going to do, you know, what he says.
Hopefully that's kill the fucking Paul brothers. That'd be awesome.
Yeah. Because they're all, you know, TikTok.
Yep. TikTok assholes that need to be beat up.
Yeah.
So the last order of business for this episode, we're going back to the Boeing planes and their fucking conundrum of fuck-ups. I've been saying this since almost the fucking beginning of the show, dude. Boeing is a very scary thing to fly on nowadays. I was nervous flying the last couple trips just because they had so many weird instances of their planes fucking falling apart and, you know, just being pieces of shit. But it's really damning now because, you know, they're still all fucked up, basically. Within the past few weeks, we've seen the wheels falling off. We've heard about the planes just plunging out of the sky at random times. That was caused, I guess, by a switch that was on the pilot seat that one of the stewardesses bumped into, and it caused them to lose control, and they just fucking nosedived for a period of time, and it like made apparently 50 people come out of their seats and hit their head on the roof. And so they got like major injuries. They've had de-icing equipment issues, which is crazy because when you're up at 35,000 feet, you're flying through particles of ice basically at that height. So, you know, that's nothing to be joked about at all. Aviation in general is not to be fucked with. It's not to be taken lightly. You're transporting hundreds and thousands of lives at, you know, any second of the day, whether it's day or night. And then recently, you know, we've seen the doors popping off. Not recently. That happened kind of earlier. But recently they've had panels falling off on a flight going to Oregon, as well as fuel leak issues. And so it's just not really calming to know that you're going to be climbing aboard one of these planes and flying for a long time. It's kind of fucking scary, to be honest with you. but it is what it is. And it is what it isn't, because they had the whistleblower recently. John Barnett was the whistleblower. And I think he lived in South Carolina, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, he was the whistleblower basically for Boeing. And many also now believe that he was murdered, or there was a hit put on him. On March 9th, he was found in his pickup truck outside his hotel room where he was staying at. He was due to give his second day of testimony in the case that's going against Boeing on their quality control and their just basically their overall safety during their production line and stuff like that follows up on those airplanes. He had apparently had a self-inflicted gunshot wound to his head, obviously, and he was due to finish out his private testimony the following day, and obviously didn't make that date, which is very suspect. He was a quality control engineer, and he worked for Boeing for like 30 years and retired in 2017. So this guy had witnessed a bunch of shit going down, like on their product line and even like out in the field and stuff like that. And he was just kind of like, the integrity of these guys is basically dog shit. And he said he'd seen people that were literally making pizzas one day and working on aircraft the next day. And they just don't have that mindset of that production kind of quality or the wherewithal to be operating tooling or anything like that in an aviation setting whatsoever. And he raised all these concerns, and Boeing was just like, all right, well, yeah, we'll look into it. And just, nothing ever really came of it. So when he retired, he dropped like basically this bombshell amount of facts that what he's seen on the production line. And he had said that he had seen parts that were taken off of production aircraft and put into cages for QA further inspection be stolen out of those cages before the QA people get there and tampered with by employees. We all know, if you've been listening at all to the news that has to do with Boeing, they failed, 33 of the 78 or whatever, how many audits there were just recently, and they were investigating the whole door popping off incident earlier this year, and they found that they were using Dawn dish soap and a fucking hotel key room key card to check the seals of all these manufactured doors that were on these planes, which is fucking nuts, dude. Like there's a ton of different compounds and things you use to do the job right, and these guys were fucking half-assing it. And that's what's scary, is that these planes fly for 20, 30, 40 years, whatever it is, and they're flying every single day. So this maintenance on these different aircraft are basically just really fucking shitty, and nobody was being held accountable for it. So this guy sounded the fucking horn and was going to bring all this shit up, and he winds up dead before he goes and has his final day of testimony, which is super fucking suspect. And the thing is, like, they brought in a crime scene, like a staged crime scene expert, this guy, Steve Chancellor, who had mentioned that when they found the guy in his truck, he was still like clutching the gun. Ooh. Right, that he supposedly shot himself in the head with. And he said that when it comes to like suicides that have to do with like using guns and stuff like that, the gun will remain in people's hands only 25% of the time. So supposedly this guy shoots himself, and the gun apparently just forgets to have any kind of kickback, and it lands up in this guy's hand still in his lap. Mm-hmm. So you fire a round out of a gun, you're going to get some kind of kickback, right? And apparently it just still remained in his hand, gripped with his hand, and was on his lap. So they found that to be kind of odd. And then there was a suspected suicide note, which they just said was written on white paper. He said all that shit just seemed kind of just just odd. And just all these different issues that were being brought up by this guy. It just seems fitting that Boeing doesn't want to have anything to do with it and would have him killed, because what did he have to lose? Right. He was going to tell the truth and expose this fucking company for having shitty fucking manufacturing processes and stuff like that. And next thing you know, he's fucking dead. And they said, oh yeah, he killed himself. And he had plenty of accounts that dealt with, or not accounts that dealt with, but basically his people that he had spoke to, hours before this event happened, that said the dude was perfectly fine. He went to Taco Bell, was just chilling, eating a quesadilla, and fucking apparently just walked outside and killed himself, which makes no sense. I mean, that shit happens like that. I'm not going to say that it doesn't, but these circumstances that how they found him were very weird.
Suspicious.
Yeah, and it should also be noted, I will say, most definitely it should be noted that there are connections between the lawyers that drafted up Jeffrey Epstein's immunity deal in 2008 and the set of lawyers that drafted up Boeing's immunity deal, which was signed in January of 2021. And the judge presiding over that case had warned the Department of Justice that its resistance to really investigate Boeing at all was just going to jeopardize basically Boeing's reputation in the eyes of the public. And I think it definitely does, dude. Like, the DOJ doesn't want to fucking investigate Boeing at all. They're just going to fucking sweep all these problems under the table.
Oh, yeah.
Like the fucking wheels falling off and other shit that's happened prior to that. Like, it's nuts. You see all these aircraft that are fucking crashing and shit like that, and they're just like, yeah, just shit happens, I guess. We're the DOJ. We're not going to do anything about it. And, yeah, I don't know. So what do you listeners really think on that matter? I'm kind of interested to see what you guys think. I personally think it was a setup. It just seems too weird to think that this guy is going to go in for his testimony and fucking blows his head off the day before he's supposed to finish. They said he had PTSD and shit like that from working at Boeing, but I don't think that's enough to where he would get to the point of killing himself. The dude had too much shit to lose, and I think he was on the winning side, but Boeing doesn't want to lose. So, yeah, I don't know. But all I can say is that I'm fucking sketched out to fly on a Boeing aircraft just because of all this weird shit happening. And but like I said, that's what happens, I guess. Not that's what happens, but you just gotta fucking do what you gotta do, I guess, is one way of saying it. But it's not gonna be any easier knowing that all this fucked up shit constantly happens to these aircraft, and even the DOJ doesn't want to do anything about it. Boeing's never gonna fucking do anything about it because they don't seem like they want to own up to any of this shit. So, it's just kind of gonna be a fucked up situation. Just gotta calm myself down, I guess, and get on the fucking plane and do what I gotta do.
Yeah.
But yeah, it just is. It's way too frequently happening. So I don't know.
What about?
That's just the shit, I guess.
Yeah, that sucks. It's horrible. I mean, no one's gonna, because it's a major company. No one's gonna talk about it because, we don't want to be, what is it, blacklisted?
No, they're not gonna get blacklisted. If anything, they're gonna fucking take a shit, and then Airbus is gonna get all the business. Airbus has good ass planes, anyways. So they just don't want their people to have to get paid money, and they don't want to pay anybody money because of their fuck ups. So they're gonna do everything they can do to hush everybody that speaks out or has anything to say, or they have an immunity deal, so nothing can be done to them.
Yeah, that's true.
So I don't know. We'll have to see what ends up happening. But yeah, I think that's it for this episode. Super fucking long episode, actually. This is a real long one. But anyways, like always, what?
Nothing.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So like always, shout out to all the listeners, all the friends and family, and the noopies that get on the show. I really appreciate the support and all you guys tuning in week to week to listen to these episodes. Hope you guys are still enjoying them. And you can find the podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and any and all of your favorite streaming services. As you guys know, if you guys are following me on Instagram, and for those that haven't followed me on Instagram, my handle there is digital_demons_podcast. I'm also on YouTube. These episodes are updated automatically weekly when they come out. All you got to do is type in Digital Demons Podcast, and you'll be able to find all the episodes in their entirety there. I'm also on X. Not going to mention anything about X. We go through this week by week. I don't tweet. I don't X, whatever you want to fucking call it, dude. I'm just on there looking for bullshit. But you can find me there. Digital Demons Pod, DGITLDMNSPOD. And if you guys have any response to any of this shit that I've been talking about, or you guys want to send me any questions or stuff you guys want to hear my take on, go ahead and shoot me an email at digitaldemonspodcast@gmail.com.
Don't be scared.
Yeah, don't be scared.
Yeah.
Don't be fucking scared. Don't be a bunch of bitches. But yeah, that's going to wrap it up for us. Episode 12 is now finished. Thanks again, guys, for listening. And yeah, happy St. Patrick's Day to all you shillelagh-wielding fucks out there.
Yeah.
And hopefully everybody had a safe St. Patrick's Day, because this one's going to be coming out technically on Monday, but it is still St. Patrick's Day today. So put your green on. Don't get pinched. Stay safe. And you guys take care of yourselves, all right? Peace.